go. So that's working. Okay. And I am now going to click to the next slide. There we go. Okay. So, guys, I don't know what your experience is with jumping online and doing workshops or what have you, but mine is typically you get online and people do a bit of they give you a little bit of information, and then they do a bit of a sale and try and get you involved in what have you. What I want to do is I'm going to be running this as though I'm running a workshop for my own inner circle. So this is just me being authentically me. I'm just going to tell it like it is. I'm going to walk you through the process that I would use with my own clients. So it's not it's not one, this is not going to be give you lots of slides and lots of information. It's more about how do we get you to the place where you're actually going to make choices and then follow through on those choices. And because, as we know, most of the time we set, New Year's resolutions, and most of those tend to, fall in a heap because we're not conscious of our choices. We just go back to our old thoughts and old patterning. So while I will, and I'm going to tell you right now, there will come a stage early on where I'm going to call a commercial break, and that's just to tell you guys that I'm running a workshop in May, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. But more importantly, I'm sharing with you my thoughts at this stage, and if you have any opinions or anything that you want to share with me to add value to that, then that's really the purpose of that commercial break, so to speak. But anyway, let's just dive straight in, yeah. So what we're going to be covering today is I'm going to be giving you 3 reasons why you aren't making the progress that you think you should. Then we're going to go into what I call a powerful shifting tool. And, I've done a lot of work. I've been to many, many workshops, and I've worked with many clients. And I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart that the tool I'm going to share with you, if you'll follow just go through the work like I'm going to take you through, it will just totally expand your choice, expand what it is you do. And it's just going to be a really powerful exercise for you. And, as a result of that, you're going to learn how to simplify and extract actions that you can take to move forward. Ideally, probably going to take about an hour. So if you need to, I guess if you need to hop off earlier, that's fine if you've got other things planned, but it's probably going to take, as I say, around about an hour. We're just waiting other people coming in, which is great to see. So moving along. Okay, so the 3 reasons why we typically fail. If you were on the call with me in December, you would have walked you through what habitual thinking loops are. And if you're not familiar with that, again, feel free to email me. I'll send you a YouTube video that I made on it. And I'm even happy to send you the recording of last month's workshop. But these habitual thinking loops keep us stuck. Our problem is, the second reason is that we have no awareness of when we are stuck. So, we think it's the circumstances out there. We think it's our environment. We think it's the person in front of me. There's all these reasons that we come up with as to why we're stuck in our current thought pattern, as opposed to just being aware. And as I covered with you in the last masterclass, and as I'll just quickly reiterate, at the end of the day, if you are not making progress, just take a look at your results. Your results are a function of your behaviors, and your behaviors are a function of your thoughts and emotions, which ultimately are a function of some sort of egoic belief system that you've got going. So just take a look at results, but then not just take a look at them, own those results, be responsible for them, and say, yes, you know what, I've created this. And if I've created it, then I can also uncreate it if I just reverse engineer and say, okay, well, these are the results. What behaviors, as an example, let's say you're having a fight with an ongoing battle with a spouse, and it always seems to be the same issue that keeps coming up. You have to understand that both of you are just in a habitual thought loop. Okay, so we look at the behavior. The behavior is I keep having the same old fight with you about the same story, about the same thing. If I take responsibility for it and say, okay, it's resulting in you getting mad or I'm getting sad, what's the behavior? What are the thoughts? What are the behaviors? What is my thinking? What are my emotions that are being triggered by this conversation? And I'll give you, and this is really as an aside, I'm going to give you a really quick tool that you can use if you are with a spouse, with a partner, or with a friend, and you just keep bumping into each other like this. If you have a conversation with them in a quiet moment and say, look, we typically bump into each other's beliefs, we bump into each other's thoughts, our thinking. Here's a great technique to use. And you just simply say, you know what story are you telling yourself right now? Or you can reverse it to take responsibility, and you say, the story that I'm telling myself right now is that you are saying this and this and this, or is that you mean this and this and this? Is that true? And the moment you just frame it in the story that I'm telling myself, or what story have you going on in your head, it takes the heat out of the kitchen and it allows you to have a different conversation. So that's just as an aside. So it's being aware that you're being driven as opposed to you are driving. And the other one is no effective means to shift our thinking. We don't know. So if we are caught in a thought loop, it's like, how do I get myself out of it? So with that in mind, one of my favorite teachers was Jim Rohn. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Jim Rohn or Jim Rohn's teachings, but Jim used to say, for things to change, we must change. So if you don't like the way things are, change it. You're not a tree. So that's what Jim used to say. And if I extrapolate that further, effectively, what we're saying here is for things to be different for us, we need to think differently. Because if you think differently, you'll emote differently. And if you emote differently, you're going to behave differently. And then your results are going to be different. So another inspirational quote before we get going is from our friend Albert Einstein. And Mr. Einstein said, and just by the way, there's a wonderful book I read on holiday. It's called Albert Einstein's Secretary. If you're into a really awesome book, it's a novel, but it's just fast. It's by Matthew Riley, terrific book. Anyway, Albert Einstein says, you can't solve a problem with the same thinking that we used when we created it. In other words, if we bring the same mindset to the problem that created the problem in the first place, you can't solve it. So this is what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to be looking at things differently. We're going to look at it from a different perspective, from a higher perspective. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say you walk through life and you've got a pair of yellow tinted glasses on. Okay. So you would then see everything in yellow tints, right? So I show up one day and I'm wearing a blue t-shirt. Are you going to see it as a blue t-shirt? And the answer is no, you're not. Why? Because you've got your yellow tinted glasses on, and yellow and blue makes green. So now it doesn't matter how many people tell you it's blue, it's blue, it's blue. In your mind, you're looking at it and you're like, really? It's green, it's green, it's green. How are you ever going to see it's blue? The only way you'll ever see it's blue is you've got to do what? You have to take off your glasses. And this is ultimately what Albert Einstein is saying. You can't solve a problem if you've got your yellow glasses on. You actually have to take your yellow glasses off, lift your level of thinking to a higher degree, and now you get a better view of what's really going on. As an example, if let's say you have a typical I can't do it approach or a negative approach, and you're always seeing things negatively, and you guys see it, you see it at work, right? People are negative, they're down on the company, they're down on the customers, they're down on the product, they're down on, there's always something they're down on, right? If you're down on the product, you that's all you see. You're not seeing opportunities to do other things because you're so locked in this mindset of I can't, I can't. And so from that place, you then start to make decisions, and your decisions are really I can't decisions as opposed to I can decisions. You can't see opportunities. Again, because you're walking around with your yellow tinted glasses. It's a bit like, imagine you've got a remote control for your thermostat, okay? And you run your thermostat and you set it, let's say to icy cold. The thermostat's going to gather information from the environment just to keep it at that icy cold temperature, or alternatively hot. It's the thermostat will only give you what you've programmed it to get. Same with your thinking. If your programmed thinking is limited or it's yellow tinted glasses, you're only going to see things through those glasses. The reason I share all of this is because today what I want to do is I want to help you just to take off those glasses, even if it is just for 30 minutes, so that you can now look at your goals, look at your choices from a very different vantage point. And from that vantage point, you're going to make different choices, different decisions. So, like I mentioned before we get into the exercise, just a quick commercial break. In May, I'm going to be running a one-day workshop. At the moment, this is the current name is called Breakthrough and Thrive. And in one day, just in one day, you're going to redefine the trajectory of your life. And that's my guarantee to you. So it's a transformative experience that's more than just your typical fluffy, puffy self-help seminar. This workshop is really designed to call up your greatness and have you start to live from your true self, from your authentic self. So what I would like from you, I mean, I've got some outlines that I think would be helpful, like, good exercises, ways for you to step out of your comfort zone with ease, how to map out a life pathway that really resonates with who you are. But if you have something that you'd really like to work on and you just have an idea, by all means, here's my email. Please send it to me, because my view is I'd far rather make a workshop that you want than that I want. Okay, so let's talk choices, because now this is what you've come for, and this is where we're heading. And this is good because I've now got 50, I've been just running for 15 minutes as a good intro. So let me now see my next slide. By the way, what's the difference between and you can just put your answers in the chat. What's the difference between a choice and a goal? Any idea? Difference between a choice and a goal. Get my chat to work. That would also help. Okay. Well, for whatever reason, my choice and my chat's not working very effectively here. So setting that aside, then what I'm saying is, if a choice is something that you actually want, you're choosing it, you're actually involved in it, you're invested in it, whereas a goal sometimes it's out there, it's something I'd like, it's something I want. There's lots of steps, there's strategies and what have you, but a choice is different. There's a different energy to a choice. The choice is more intentional. And that's what we want to do here today. We want to really focus on choosing intentionally. So I'd like you to take out 4 pieces of paper. Take out 4 pieces of paper. I'll give you a minute or two to grab 4 pieces. And on each piece of paper, what you're going to do is you're going to draw a big circle. So you're going to draw a circle on your page. And whether it's a piece of paper or a notebook or what have you, I want you to draw a piece of paper on your paper. I want you to draw a circle. Now, we want to focus on one specific choice. What is one choice that you want to make in 2024? It's a choice that you really, really want to make. This is what we're going to focus on. It's not necessarily a goal. It's a choice that you want to make. It's something you really choose for yourself, whatever that is. I choose to get married. I choose to leave my job. I choose to find a new partner. I choose to, lose 10 kilos, whatever that choice is. It's a choice you really, really want to make. So just get clear on your choice, and we're only going to work on one choice. However, once you understand the process, you'll be able to take this process and apply it to all your other choices that you want to make. So it'll make it really easy for you. And it's not a difficult process. The other thing is I'm going to give you a tool, and we're actually going to run through the tool now. It's a YouTube video that I made for my clients, and I'm actually going to run through that video now. And then if you get value and you really want it, by all means, just email me and I'll send you the link, and you can use this as many times as obviously you like. So you've got a choice. So here's the video. Now, this is going to be interesting to see how it, okay, let me now play now. Can you all see the screen? It's just come off mute because I can't see anymore. And just let me know if you can see. It looks like a pair of dogs. Okay, good.
We can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing that I want to check is can you hear it? And if you can't hear it, let me know and I'll turn up the volume. So this is it's kind of like a guided meditation. But really, for the first 15 minutes, it's just to get you into the headspace where you're not engaged with your typical thinking. You're not engaged with your usual thought processes. Because remember, if you're going to look at this thing through your yellow tinted glasses, you're not going to see blue. You're going to see green. So this process up front is designed to get you out of your head and into your heart, or into the space where you can actually see things for new. So I'm going to press play. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is choose to be of service to your higher self. So just take a moment, and we're going to do some breathing. Just breathe deeply and just notice what it's like to breathe deeply and fully. Breathing in and out, and in and out. And as you do that, just notice how you're feeling in your shoulders, and just allow your shoulders to relax. Feel your hands unclench, and just feel your jaw relax. So just open up your jaw and just allow your whole jaw just to relax. And breathe. And feel yourself letting go. Let go of all the tension in your body. And feel your heart rate. Feel it slowing right down. As you breathe, just notice your heart rate is slowing down, slowing down. 'Cause, 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 And now as your body starts to send more blood to your mind, to your brain, notice how your mind is becoming clearer, less foggy. Just breathe in and out. Just breathe in and out. And as you do this, let's do a little checklist, if you like, of how are you feeling mentally? How well did you sleep? How sharp is your thinking right now? How clear are you? How enthusiastic are you right now? How awake are you? Just check in with yourself. And just acknowledge where you're up to with all of that. And breathe. Now I want you to shift your focus onto how you're feeling emotionally. So checking in with your emotions. And how you're feeling. What's coming up for you as you sit there feeling? And just feel the feelings. And as you feel, just name the feeling. What is it? What are you feeling? Is there any feelings of bad or sad or mad? Now, this is really, really intimate. This is where you intimately connect with yourself and your feelings. And you want to do this really well. Acknowledge exactly how you're feeling emotionally. Try and give the feeling language. Try and express in your mind, how do you really feel? What is that feeling? Really feel into that. And breathe. You want to make sure you do this really well whenever you do this exercise. This is connecting deeply with yourself. And now I want you to just run a check throughout your body. Just notice how are your toes? How are your ankles? Just be with every single part of your body. And just move systematically through your legs, up through your pelvis, into your belly, up your back. Just check in with your whole nervous system. Feel your nerves up your spine, all the way down to your lower back and up to your neck, into your shoulders. Just feel into your chest. What about your arms? Feel into your arms. Feel your fingers. How are you feeling? Just be aware of how you're feeling physically. Just really connect in with your physical body. Just notice in your body, where is the tension? is there a sense of darkness somewhere? Just notice. And just coming back and just notice into your head. And just notice, what are you thinking? Just become aware of your thoughts. So I want you just to notice a thought. Allow that thought to come up. And just notice how that thought wants to just kidnap the conversation. It wants to take you down a path into the past or into the future. And now just bring that thought to a close and go, okay, thank you. And what else am I thinking? Just reclaim your focus. And so this is really a part of exercising your will. This is about choosing what you want to focus on. So as the thought comes out, watch it and choose to let it go. What else? What else? What else are you thinking? Okay. What else? And then just notice how that thought also wants to take you down a certain road. And rather than engaging with the thought, just ask the question, and what else am I thinking about? And notice that after a while, very soon in fact, your mind starts to quieten down. In fact, you actually have to go looking for a thought. They're not just coming randomly anymore. You actually have to go digging. And what else? What else? And when you get to the point where your mind is clear, you've gotten to that point, and now I want you to change from being aware of how your body is or what you're thinking about. Change it so that you become aware of the room that you're in. So you're sitting there with your eyes closed. I want you just to, in your imagination, just see you sitting in the room with your eyes closed. And just notice you're sitting there in the room. And you're part of the room. As you sit there, you're part of the chair, part of the room. Just notice what's on the wall in your imagination. Pictures on the wall, the desk, papers, computer. Notice the wall coverings or the floor coverings. Notice the door, the windows. Notice the curtains. And again, notice just by being in the room, you are actually a part of the room. Just notice. And notice how you're part of something bigger than just what's going on inside your head. You're actually a part of this room. And notice that while you're thinking about the room, notice how the room is actually a part of the house where you're dwelling. It's part of a bigger dwelling. And just notice the whole home. Notice the ceilings, the air conditioning vents, the windows, the carpets, the kitchen, the laundry, the bathrooms, the bedrooms. Notice the sitting rooms. Notice the veranda. And notice that you're still part of the whole house. And the home sits on a property. Just notice the property. And the house is a part of that. Your home is a part of that property. And just notice it. And then just in short steps, just expand that out into the street that you live in. And from the street, notice that the street is part of the suburb that you're living in and the city that you live in. Just notice that it's all a part of the state that you live in. And you're a part of that. And notice that the state is part of the continent that you live in. And notice how that continent is part of the world. And even though you're in your head, you're still part of the world. And in fact, notice that the world is just part of the solar system. You're part of space. And notice what it might feel like if you were standing on Pluto and looking at all the planets, Jupiter, and Saturn, and Mars, and there's our tiny little planet. And notice that you're a part of all of that. And you're moving through space. Just notice you're part of the solar system. And you're part of the galaxy. And now zoom out even further and notice that we are just part of our galaxies, just one of billions of galaxies out there. And just notice how we're just a tiny little speck of dust and we're connected to all of that. Just a tiny speck of dust in amongst millions and billions and billions and billions of galaxies. And all of this is familiar to you. It's familiar to you. You're a part of all of it. And that you're connected to everything. Through all time, through all space, just notice you're just a part of all of it. And from this perspective, I want you to acknowledge your gifts and your skills. Just notice the stuff that you love doing. Those things that literally light up your eyes, light up your body. What are the things you absolutely love to do? And just acknowledge that you've got a light that you love to shine in this world. Just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge you've been given natural abilities. Acknowledge them. You've been given a special genius. Just acknowledge what that is. This is your genius to pursue. And I want you now to set an intention that you are actually of service to this higher part of you. And you are here to serve that highest good, to shine your light ever more brightly into whatever opportunities present themselves. And from there, step into innocence. Just allow yourself just to be part of everything. Allow yourself not to know anything. You're just completely innocent. And from that place, just observe what is obvious. Just observe what is obvious before your rational mind seems to want to manipulate and grab hold of you. Just notice from that place of innocence what is most obvious. No judgment. Just notice. Set all your judgments, your thoughts of why you can, why you can't, set all of that aside and just be in innocence, open to everything, attached to nothing. And now, with your imagination, I want you to create a circle. Imagine a circle. So in your imagination, I want you to imagine a circle, and within that circle, I want you to imagine a space. And this space is the end result that you are choosing for you. What is your choice? What is it that you really are choosing for you? Just imagine it. That's in that circle. What is that? Imagine all of it. And then when you're ready, I want you to imagine stepping into that circle and allow the circle to inform you of what is that end result. What do you get? What are the outcomes of this choice? What are the outcomes? What's it like having that choice? Just notice what it's like and just step into that. Who are you with? What are you doing? What are you experiencing? Just feel into it. What are you feeling? And now I want you to start to write it all down. No judgment, just write it all down, just as it comes to you. Just as it comes to you, write it all down. Okay, so just go to your piece of paper, your circle, your first circle, and just start writing. Be in the circle, be in that space. This is my choice. What is it I choose for me? What does it feel like if I had it? Just really feel into that from this place of just openness. There's no rational mind here. It's just, this is what I'm choosing for me. Just write it down. Don't judge whatever comes up. When you get to the end, just say, what else? What else? And what else? And just keep writing. Just notice how good it feels to have this. This is what I really choose for me. It's delicious. It's juicy. What is it I'm really choosing for me? Why do I want it? What's this thing going to give me? Not just materially, but emotionally, spiritually, relationship-wise, health-wise. What is it about this thing that I just grabs me? I just love it. Remember, no judgment. There's no how am I going to, there's no, I don't know how or what. There's none of that. It's just you're just writing down what you love, what's in your heart. There's no judgment. I choose this for me because I want it. Love it. Now, what else? What else? What is it about this thing that just gets me going? Motivates me. It just juices me. Yeah, love it. Fills my heart. I'm just going to, you can carry on with this later, but just in terms of time, I'm now going to get you now to move into your current reality. So I want you to draw another circle on another page, and this is where you are currently. So this is where you sit right now in relation to your choice that you made. No hold bars. This is just where you are. There's no judgment here. This is just where you are, where you're up to. Ah, whatever. I'm undisciplined. I don't do what I know I should do. I'm stuck. Whatever it is that's holding you back, just write it down. This is your current reality. This is what you're doing. I'm tied to my mortgage. I'm tied to my relationship. Or whatever it is, just write it all down. Doesn't matter. You just want to get a real sense of your current reality. Where are you right now? And how does it feel to actually be here? What feelings does this current reality generate for you? What do you think about it? What do you tell yourself about it? What stories do you have going on about your current reality? And they are just stories, right? I can't do this, or I need this, I have to have, all the have to's. And yeah, just the weight of it all. Just feel the current reality. And just keep writing. And what else? What else? What else is your current reality? Now, it's not all bad. Good things in there too, in relation to where it is you want to go, in relation to your choice. It's not all bad. And what else? And just for a moment, I just want you to just press pause on your writing and just feel into the circle. Just feel what the circle feels like, this current reality circle. What does it actually feel like? Like just, reading through your notes, just what does it feel like, on a scale of 1 to 10? If 10 is really, really heavy and depressing and a 1 is light and airy, where about are you on that scale? What does it feel like? Just feel into that. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to step out of that circle in your imagination. So close your eyes, step out of the circle. You're out of and you can now see there's two circles. You've got your current reality, and then you've got your vision circle, your choice circle. I want you now to, in your mind, step back into your choice circle. Read the notes. You already know what's there. Step back into it and just see what that feels like to be here in this place, in this choice, experiencing these things, these choices, what you really choose for you. Just feel the energy of this circle. Just feel it. Just know this is where your heart is. This is what you truly choose for you. Just feel that. Now I want you to, in your mind's eye, I want you to look from this vision circle, look back at your current reality circle. So you're standing in your vision circle and you're looking outwards and back to your current reality circle. And I want you to draw a bridge from where you are in your vision back to your current reality. And I want you to notice what is most obvious. What is most obvious in terms of the things that you did to get you into this vision? What is most obvious? You obviously took some steps to move from current reality to this future vision. Just what's most obvious? What's the most obvious thing that comes to mind? And it's the first thing that comes to mind. Draw a new circle and just write in that circle what is most obvious. What is most obvious? What's the most obvious thing? It doesn't have to be many things, big things, just it's one or two obvious things. Okay, now with that in mind, I'm going to get you guys to come off mute. And who would like to share just what's most obvious? We don't need to know anything. Just give me what's obvious, and we can take that and we can chunk it down so you can get some real core actions that you can start doing almost immediately after this session. Everyone want to come off mute and share? What is most obvious? Feel free just to open up and just take yourself off mute and just share, knowing that your share, whatever it is, will really be helpful for everybody else. Looks like, don't tell me we've got shy people on board here. Okay, go, Scotty. Thank you.
No, I think for me, Ian, I've never been so relaxed. It's something I probably need to do on a regular basis. That was outstanding. So thanks for that. But I think just that bridge, it's just the sort of I was on that roller coaster and then stepping back from the current reality, going across that bridge. The obvious. I just wrote down it's me straight away. I think not just my mindset, but I just wrote it's me complacency. When I think of something, I need to take small steps and take action rather than just think it.
Okay, beautiful. I love it. Okay. So now let's just unpick this just a little bit, right? Because it's one thing to say, yes, I need to take little steps. In terms of your vision, in terms of the thing that you came up with, what is one tiny little step that you can do almost immediately to get the momentum for you to start to move forward?
Rely on myself and no one else. Stand on my own 2 feet.
Okay, that again, lovely, like it, but what's an action step? I actually want something that you will do today to start relying on yourself and start standing on your own 2 feet. What's one small little thing you can do?
Um, Maybe come up with a planner.
Okay, so what does it actually entail?
Like I think for me, just where I want to get to, I think for me, I need to write things down
Great.
and maybe look at that on a daily basis. So when I say small steps, look at that on a daily basis and be disciplined on not only a tick and flick, but actually take action on those small things. If that's
Okay, so great. So what is one small thing that you can take action on without even thinking? It's just a no-brainer. It's so obvious. You'll do it. So if it's just every morning, I'm going to sit down and just write out my what I choose for the day. Is
yes.
that
I was thinking I go to the gym every morning, and I think between the between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., I could write down my no, not write down my plan for the week or the month, but just follow up with how I'm going with it. So look back on the day before and measure myself on that.
great? So in other words, I could do a daily check-in.
Yeah,
Okay. Is that easy to do?
that's definitely yeah. Like I think for me, Ian, it's actually no, it sounds easy, but I've got to be like I could just sit here and say a daily check-in. Yep, it's easy, but I think I could answer that and say yes, but I've never really, I'm always on the go and I'm always busy being busy, but giving myself time and doing a daily check-in that's a big step in going in the right direction, I feel.
Understand. Okay. So right now, so just work with me for right now. Okay. So what I'm hearing is you saying that I'd like to, but then I don't have the discipline to actually do it, right? So for right now, I want you to just close your eyes and step back into your vision circle. Just step back, and everyone can do this, right? Just step back into your vision circle and just feel the energy, just feel the choice. Okay. Just feel it. So just in your mind, you step back into your vision, you step back into your choice. This is what I want. This is what I'm choosing for me. Just feel that. Allow that just to flow all the way through you. Just feel the power of that, the energy of that. And here's the secret. Know that you can step into this circle at any time. Okay. You could step into your current reality circle, which is, oh, I don't have the discipline. I'm not, um, I'm complacent, all the stuff you've put in there. And that can just be a signpost for you to say, oh, guess where I'm at? I'm in my current reality circle. Great. Now step back into your vision circle. And if I'm in my vision circle, what do I do now? Well, what I do from here, because it's part of my vision, I'm going to pull out my journal and I'm going to write down my choices for the day or my plan for the day. Is that helpful?
Yeah, big time. I think because I wrote in my vision. So going back, I'll share one or two things, but I definitely wrote in the first circle, it was this is my time. Don't be scared. You've got what it takes. That's just a few words, and I think saying that and aligning with what you just said every morning, like that definitely makes sense. And I'm gonna do it. Not oh, will I? It's definitely like I can assure myself that I can do it, that I will do it.
Okay, so now imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning and you go, ah, well, it's Saturday and I've got a lot on my plate, and you know what? I've got to, and before you know it, in your car driving to gym, you've just missed the opportunity. How do you now? Because now you're in your current reality circle, which is where you've been and what's keeping you stuck. What can you now do? Let's assume you're driving on the way to the gym. What can you do when you catch yourself?
Great question.
That's why they pay me the big dollars.
You want to be going, well, there's no way I'm turning back around because the gym's my happy place. But
Good.
I suppose I could, when I'm at the gym on the treadmill, I could actually, go through my day then. So it's,
Beautiful. Or
so it's
or you could sit in the parking lot and do it before
yeah.
you
So
go into the gym.
as long as if I miss that time, as long as I do get it done, say before midday, then that's what counts.
Great. Okay. But notice what you've done here. You've moved from your current reality circle, which is keeping you confined and stuck. You've moved it back into the place you want to be. And that's the choice. It's not a discipline, it's a choice. Do I want to stay in current reality or do I actually want to be in my choice? Now, if you choose to stay in your current reality, it's like, choosing to sit and poo. And that's okay, it gets warm here, but it is smelly. Or you can choose to step into your real choice. What is I really, really want for me? Yeah. Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
man.
That's
Thank
really
you.
good.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, that's good. Does anybody else want to share?
Hey Ian, it's Pam. How are you?
Good. Hey, Pen.
Hey, I thought this was really good because for me, like I did the choice circle and then did current reality, and it probably really made me go back and reflect on the last year. And I guess the reason why it reflected on last year is because I feel like I actually probably didn't know what I did. I knew how I did it, but going through this actually made me realize that I actually did a lot of this last year. I chose certain things, and instead of sitting in, I guess, the current reality, and was going through a lot of things personally at home, and I guess I chose to stay with my husband, and it was a really tough time. But in doing that, I had to choose to turn up for him every day because he needed me. Some of the things that I did and the choices that I made was I chose to make memory and one memory a week, and committed to that. I committed to having one memory that we would do together. It didn't matter if it was walking in the park or going to the sauna or something, but chose to do that. And also chose to only let myself think positive thoughts when I was around him because he needed that. And work, and I chose for work to be, a place where I could probably, where it was a bit more of a sanctuary, where I could be a little bit more myself through that time. And now that brings me to my, current reality. I mean, that part we've made some really good decisions and moving in a good direction. But I guess there's that part now about, moving to Townsville and, wanting to make some, wanting to start my own business and stuff. And there's a lot of my current reality is I've got a lot of fear around, am I good enough? I know I'm good at what I do, but there's that fear of going, will I be successful? There's so many other people that do it. How am I better than them? And feelings that, I probably need to be the money and the provider. What about if I can't provide that with this new business? I guess, sometimes getting caught in probably spending more time trying to help other people than, putting my time and attention on, I guess, myself, so I can and make this as successful as I can be.
So it's interesting, though, when you're in the doubt, when you're in the, I don't know if I can or how am I going to, is that your current reality or is that your vision?
I feel my current reality is fear. But then I go through fear, and then I go through times of feeling belief in myself, but I keep going back and forth a little bit.
Absolutely. But just recognize, and the purpose of the exercise today is to recognize when you're standing in your current reality or when you're standing in your choice. And by the way, both of those are just stories. It's not true.
Yeah.
It's just a story you tell yourself. So you might tell yourself the story of your vision, the story of what it is you choose for you, and stay there. And that then becomes the discipline to recognize, okay, I've got self-doubt going. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm feeling, shit, I've just found myself in my current reality circle. Let me close my eyes and step back into my vision circle. If I'm in my vision circle, what is most obvious? What should I do from here? Because when you're in your current reality circle, you're looking at the world with your yellow glasses.
Mhm.
When you step into your vision circle, you've taken them off and you can see, it's blue. Now I can make different choices. Does that make sense? But if you make a choice from doubt and fear, what's going to show up from you? Small baby steps that might not get you to where you want to go. But if you make a choice from your vision circle, now that's where the juice is, and that's what really moves you forward.
Yeah.
That help?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. So, folks, look, I'm really conscious of time, and I honestly, if in the last circle, I want you just to write down 2 or 3 actions, small little things that you can do. It's not big. It's like I did with Scotty. Just break it down into just to one thing that you can do. It's an email that you can send. It's a phone call you can make. It's the first chapter. It's the first paragraph of your book. It's buying a journal. Whatever that smallest little thing is that you do, because once you've done that, you'll take the next step. And from the next step, you'll take the next step. And from that step, you'll take the next step. And so you'll just keep moving forward. And then your vision will become reality, which is ultimately what you're looking for. Right? So, look, guys, I mean, this is, first of all, it's recorded. If you would like the URL for the YouTube video, just email me, happy to send it, and you can go through that, the visioning exercise as often as possible. It takes you all the way through. So I stopped it just, from a time-saving point of view. But let me know if you want it. And and if you have any questions, or if you're stuck in anything, just reach out. More than happy to help. So there's my email. Let me know, and more than happy to help you to where you want to go. Again, always say it's helpful if you guys want. If you want to get a copy of Who's Controlling You, let me know, and I'll send you the URL for that. And other than that, we'll close it out here. Is anyone got anything they want to share? One last share before we shut shop for the morning. Well, if that's the case, from my point of view, I just want to thank you guys for your participation. Thank you for staying with me. It was an interesting session. I mean, most of the time I do this with what I call my inner circle, the clients that I work with. So this is always it's always interesting when you're just putting stuff out there. But I promised myself at the beginning of the year when I did this for myself, that I'm just really going to put myself out there, just be me, and take it or leave it. So I appreciate you taking it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Okay. Speak soon, guys.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks so much. Thanks so
Okay.
much.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it.
No worries. Reach out if you need. Cheers.